Hello everybody, welcome to episode 52 of the PMD Tea Buyers Club. Been meaning to get 52 out since last week Wednesday. Just been busy. It's Friday. It's Friday the 13th, 10 past 7, and I'm uploading this up for you guys this week because I just want to keep the roll that we're going through. It's been a pretty busy few days because we're going up to Independent Hotel Show next week at Olympia. If you guys are in London, do come and visit. We're at Olympia stand 143 at the Independent Hotel Show. We've got great tea on the go, and we've also got our new line of spices as well, because PMD is branching out into the spice trade. That is a topic for another day. But if you're following us on Instagram, follow PMD Spices at PMD Spice. What am I going to talk about today on episode 52? I want to talk about the different grades of buying. So, a lot of people seem to associate leaf style with quality, and I think that's one of the myths that we also need to break away. People seem to think that the larger the leaf, the better the tea is. That's not the case, and people seem to think when you talk about white, if you talk about a particular grade of tea, that all of that tea from that particular grade is good. Now, this is something I've noticed quite recently, where you're looking at a particular grade of tea, but you're looking at the lower end of that particular grade. And the grade I want to highlight this with is with silver tips, which is white tea. Now, whenever we grade tea in the industry, there's three terms that are used: below best, best, and select best. Effectively what it means is the good, the bad, the ugly, Well, not the good, the bad, the ugly, the great, the good, and the bad, and think of it like that. And what I've got here is I've got three different examples, and I'm going to put the pictures onto Instagram, and you can follow us at PMDT, of what these three grades look like. They're all silver tip teas. What I've got here in my left hand is below best. And I'm going to bring this around here, and if you pan the camera in, you can notice that there's a lot of blackness. There's a lot of broken silver tip buds there. If I compare that on the extreme to this here, which is select best, which is at the other end of the scale, you'll notice that the leaf is a lot cleaner. It's silvery in color. It's just the bud. It lacks this blackness, It's a very clean looking silver tip. And this is exactly what you want your silver tip tea to look like. Just the bud that you've hand-picked. Silver tip, I know we talked about this in other previous episodes, but silver tips come from the 2043 cultivar, and whereas with other teas you're picking the bud and the two leaves, with silver tips, with this particular tea bush, it produces a fat silvery leaf like this, and you're picking just the bud. And how you pick that bud and what bud you pick, determines what type of silver tips you'll have. Whereas if I look at this silver tip, there's a lot of black leaf. There's a lot of unopened leaf from the bud. Like here, that's a good example. Here you've got the bud; it's broken as well, and then you've got part of the second leaf that has come out, and it's black in color because that goes to show you the oxidization that stayed on there. And this is a great example. This is a best. So this is in the middle, part clean, part mixed with a little bit of black stalk. But if you're buying good silver tips and you're paying the money for it, and you're paying the money for silver tips, the standard that you want to have is the standard that I've got here on my right, where it's just the bud. There's no blackness in it, there's no other bits that are hanging around like you've got here in this below best. And even if you look at the colors of these two teas, here it looks silvery green. Here it's much more grayish black, Here is the middle point. It's half and half, a bit of blackness, a bit of silveriness, but this is sitting in the middle. If you were to actually analyze, we've just done visual inspection, but if you were actually to smell these leaves, this has much more of a pungent aroma. It smells very floral. It smells, almost like fresh rosebuds. It almost smells like spring here. And if you compare that right down to the other end of the scale, here, the aroma is far less. There's nothing jumping out of the turnout on this compared to the select best. The select best, even just from here, you can get the aroma. Whereas here, even if I put my nose into the below best, there's hardly anything. So this is a little quick clip on how to buy tea and what you should look for when buying Silvertip tea. The 3 types of gradings that we in the industry look at are select best, best, and below best. So next time you guys are out looking for tea, especially Silvertips, have a look at what I've just said. Follow the company Instagram because you'll see all the pictures on there. And if you want to buy some good Silvertips, click the link below because you can save yourself the hassle of having to look for good Silvertips, and you can just buy it straight from PMD. That's all I've got, guys. It's Friday. I'm gonna go and I don't know, maybe have a cheeky Scotch and maybe a Cuban. It's been that kind of week. Happy sipping. I'll speak to you guys next week.